You gotta love my thumbnail. Because they give you like a second to go, oh, hey, we're snapping your picture. And it's like, here I am. Okay. Um, so this morning, I had, it's really weird when you haven't experienced something before and you don't really have a name for it. You just kind of have to make up something. Because I don't really know. I know that I wasn't dreaming, and I know it wasn't an open vision, and I know it wasn't seeing in the spirit, and I know it wasn't traveling in the spirit. Because, like I said, when you see in the spirit, it's just black and white, but this was different. So I'm just going to tell you what I saw and what Jesus told me, and we'll go from there. Okay. So at first, it was just seeing in the spirit. It was literally just black and white. And I saw this hole about yay big, like this. And at this corner right here, I saw eternal white light. And I was like, and Holy Spirit's asking me, do you see it? And I said, yes, I saw. And so this hole is like this. And then as it begins to shrink and get smaller and smaller, I'm not seeing the white light. Instead, I am seeing uh, black spirits fly out. And okay, so fallen angels, I would think would have wings. These didn't. They had like some of them had black capes on and they weren't just flying out. Like as this hole is getting smaller and smaller, they are darting out. I mean, like they want out. So I was like, okay, this is some kind of victory. I'm sensing in the spirit that this is some kind of victory, and I didn't know what it was. And so pretty soon, all of these dark spirits are gone. They're out. And the next scene that I see, this is the part that's a bit like, what did I just see there? All of a sudden, it was full blown color. And I saw, it was very obvious that it was a backyard. And I was like standing on the porch and I was seeing through a window and like this red dirt had been turned over and it was like piled high. And on top of it was all these possessions, like all of these fun things that you would see in a backyard. And I'm like, that's it. And then Jesus said, don't tell anybody about this. And I was like, okay, I'll just sit on it. That's all right. That's all right. Because I don't know what it means anyway. So then throughout the day, I'm just going along doing my thing. And it finally came to me what it means. Okay, so we get types and shadows, we get symbols in dreams and visions. And like I said, God is not a fortune teller. He will never give you something in a dream that means something in the natural. You might as well go to a soothsayer for that. Okay? That's not what he's about. What he's doing is saying this is the way the Spirit of God is moving. So, with the demonic forces leaving territory, they are leaving territory. That's what they were doing. The eternal white light was literally sealing up the hole. That's why I saw it on the corner, the left side. It means left is spirit. So it's literally sealing up the hole that has been in the territory, and these demons are darting out. They don't want no part of it. We're out of here. This is over. Okay. So the victory has been won. And then in the next scene, when I'm seeing the backyard, when you think of a front yard, the type of thing that you get in the front yard, for anybody who cares about, I don't know, making the world pretty, that kind of thing, they want to have a pretty front yard. They want people, their neighbors, to go, oh, look at their flowers, that kind of thing, you know. But the backyard is for the family. The backyard is where all the fun happens. You know, the backyard is where, if you come to Arkansas, it's where the car's buried. You got all the clunkers in the backyard, all that kind of stuff. But so the backyard is where all of the good stuff happens. You know, the barbecues, the the playing games, all that kind of stuff, that all happens in the backyard. Okay, so when I was looking up red dirt versus black dirt and whatever, red dirt tends to be healthier dirt depending upon location. And let me tell you, this was obviously just the most, I was like, wow. I could actually almost see the water on it. I mean, it wasn't waterlogged, but when you see red dirt, what I read, it means that everything is going through the dirt like it's supposed to. It's the nutrients, the water, all of the good stuff is going through the dirt like it's supposed to. So the dirt has been turned over. It has been dug down. So the whole backyard, where all of the fun, food, and fellowship goes, right? The fun, food, and fellowship. That whole scene has been plowed over. All right? It's been turned upside down. That's where everything's been going on, is in the backyard. In our own backyard is where all the demons have been, okay? So now the red dirt has been turned over, which is where the good stuff is. God has been digging down deep inside of us. That's what, when it comes to trials and sufferings and all that kind of stuff, we tend to avoid painful things. We avoid things that could actually be good for us. Like, oh my gosh, I've been off work for 2 weeks and I think I've put on 10 pounds. I'm like, Trudy, if you're in the next job you get, if you're not moving, you have got to go walking because that ain't working. I cannot be having no 5 pounds, 10 pounds on me. No, just because it's hard. It's hard to carry that weight. So the ground being turned over means that God, for his body, is having to go really, really deep to find the good soil because we have not tended our garden. All we have done is play on the topsoil. That's all we've done. We've even went so far as to buy fake grass so that it looks nice and we can have lots of fun, food, and fellowship. We're not going to tend a garden. I remember my grandma, she literally worked until the day she died. And she had the best gardens. Oh my goodness. My grandma always had awesome strawberries, cucumbers and watermelons and you name it. My grandma had everything. That's what was going on, was a garden. And we usually live in here now. All of our houses are kind of scrunched in together. We don't have big backyards. We have small plots. And so you end up having a choice. You can either, if you have kids, you can have a swing back there and that kind of stuff, or you can have a small garden plot, whatever's important to you. Well, we should have been tending our garden all along. We should have been paying attention to the way our mind works, to the thoughts that we're susceptible to the habits, to the lies that the enemy tells us, but we've not. We were just like, oh, hey, you'll be a great addition to the party. Come on in. Let's sit down and party. Yeah, that doesn't work. So part of the harvest is getting down, metaphorically speaking, is getting down to the nitty gritty, to finding that one part that is in fact seed. It's the part of us that God is not going to allow to return back to Jesus void. If he has spoken word over your life, if you have ever had one tiny little connection with Daddy God through Jesus, that's light and it's seed and it will bear fruit. Even if it bears one fruit, he's going to get it because it's his. All right. So look up. Things are going good. Don't get discouraged. Just keep on keeping on. I love you guys. Bye-bye.